Which is the first country that comes to your mind when you hear the word evil? How about when you hear the word intelligence or greed? Damn, revenge is an interesting one, and so is development. Well, today we'll analyze the best country representation of every human trait. By the end of the video, we would count which country got the most winning points. And with that out of the way, let's get to the exciting part of the video. Like when you think of strength, which is the first country that pops into your head? Maybe it's Russia, that is built like a tank, fights with raw, gritty power. Or perhaps it's China, the literal embodiment of numbers. And believe me, they have a lot going for them on this aspect. But then we have the USA, the personification of power, having military bases that are scattered around the globe, a defense budget bigger than the next 10 nations combined, and enough firepower to end or save the world twice over. But let's break this down. Russia brings brute force to the table. With one of the largest tank fleets, a legacy of military grit, and a cold weather endurance that crushed both Napoleon and Hitler, Russia doesn't flinch under pressure. Its strength is raw, old school, and built for heavy conflict. China plays the numbers game. With the world's largest standing army and rapidly expanding tech and naval power, it's all about scale. Add in ballistic missiles, cyber warfare capabilities, and sheer industrial output, and you've got a nation that can challenge anyone. Now the USA, oh man, where do I start? With more military bases than Starbucks, the US is the final boss of Earth, a defense budget that could fund world peace and still buy a new moon. Tanks, drones, aircraft carriers, and a patriotic soundtrack playing in the background. This country treats war like a subscription service. Let's be real, the US can sneeze and accidentally destabilize a region. Yeah, strength is certified. The US gets their first point. And wait, we're just getting started. Each point gets more interesting than the last, and for the final stages of the video, I'll reserve some of the most difficult choices I would have to make. So like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's keep going. Next one. Which is the best representation of intelligence? I think this one undoubtedly goes to Japan. You see, if countries were students, Japan would be the guy who takes notes in 5 colors, invents a robot to cook lunch, and still bows before handing in his homework. From pioneering robotics to efficient urban planning and ridiculous toilet tech, Japan is 3 steps ahead in every direction. Their education system turns toddlers into math Olympians. There are also other countries like Germany, the godfather of precision, engineering, cars, infrastructure. If it's built to perfection, then there's probably a German blueprint behind it. Or South Korea, a country with a caffeine-fueled IQ. From AI to internet speed, this country lives in 2030. Also, somehow turns school into an Olympic event. And Finland, whose education system is a cheat code. No stress, no homework, and still smarter than everyone. How? Well, nobody knows. Magic and good policies, probably. There's definitely something sus going on there. But Japan still takes the crown. I mean, they even managed to make some smart anime characters, and we can all agree these guys still give us chills up till this day. Japan gets their first point as well. When it comes to influence, who does it better? Is it China with their incredible TikTok wave, or the US with their massive social presence, movies, music, brands? They've got it. Although these two are our main focus, I also think it's a must to mention the UK for their colonial legacy DLC. The English language is a big example of how their influence is not only historical but also permanent. But if we were to compare our main candidates, the USA undoubtedly comes out on top. They've made products like clothes and electronics we use all over the world. You know, if you've ever watched Hollywood, used Facebook, or said bro, the US already colonized your culture. Its soft power is so strong, it made the world care about Super Bowl commercials. Yeah, that's pretty smooth, right? Damn, the US is now at 2 points. That's a big boost. Anyways, we've been talking about some positive things, so let's talk about something a bit dark. Which country comes to your mind when you hear the word corruption? Let's be honest. Every country is in one way or the other guilty on this aspect, but there are quite a few that kind of do it too much. Venezuela. A full-blown masterclass in self-destruction. Corruption didn't just ruin the economy, it hit fast forward. From oil-rich to empty shelves in record time, this was less a government and more a glitch in capitalism. If bad governance were a video game, Venezuela speedran it with no patches. Then there is Russia, which does its corruption with nukes and a straight face. It's kinda like the way most normal thief robs forcefully and strikes fear in their victims. Simply put, it's not just corrupt. It's weaponized corruption. Afghanistan now is a place where corruption became a service industry. Need a permit, a job, or even a miracle? Just pay up. Billions disappear like magic tricks. Officials treated the government like a vending machine. Insert bribe. Corruption wasn't a side effect, it was the business model. But what if I tell you that someone somehow manages to surpass all of them? Which is none other than Nigeria. If corruption were a sport, Nigeria would have a trophy room bigger than its national budget. Ghost workers? Check. Oh yeah. Elections? More like plot twists. Bribes in Nigeria are so common they're practically a payment method. Yeah, Nigeria wins for sheer creativity. I mean, who else blames missing millions on a literal python? Nigeria gets their first point. Okay, let's continue with this energy and talk about greed. Yeah, the most greedy country. Switzerland is the first I could immediately think of. They're neutral in wars but aggressive when hoarding cash. Switzerland is the world's favorite piggy bank. Ask dictators, tax evaders, or cartoonish billionaires. The banks are so secure, even the truth gets locked in a vault. There are extra candidates like the United States, Luxembourg, and even Qatar. But Switzerland wins by being so greedy they profit from everyone else's greed without breaking a sweat. Yeah, they are the original smooth criminal. Now, when we think of development, who comes to mind? Is it South Korea, with their futuristic smart gadgets and technology? Or Singapore, for its high-level and advanced buildings? And yeah, China and USA are also some of the best mentions. But Japan, though they are great and the best for this category, it's quite debatable, because I'd be giving this one to South Korea. Imagine being a war-torn country in the 50s, and now you're out here selling smart fridges that text you. South Korea didn't just glow up, it evolved. From K-pop to Samsung, Seoul went from rubble to neon empire in a speed run powered by kimchi and Wi-Fi. They combine culture, tech, and glow-up energy into a blueprint for how to flex legitimately. Oh, now how about loss? Which country has gotten the most losses? And no, not casual losses like football matches. We're talking about natural and environmental loss. We could mention countries like Ukraine. Due to recent scars, they've been invaded multiple times, leading to loss of lives, land, and even properties. There's also Syria with its civil war roulette, and Armenia, who still carries a historic trauma pack. All these are good victims of huge loss, but Palestine is the one I think got the biggest hit. It's a story of disappearing borders, destroyed homes, and people's lives shaped by exile and occupation. They have families who live with memories of a land they can't return to or see change beyond recognition. Decades of stalled peace, broken promises, and global silence have turned loss into a constant. Yeah, just like I said, they got the biggest hit. Palestine gets their first point. Okay, we just talked about loss. Let's shake things up by talking about the opposite. Which country represents resources? Okay, I'd go straight to the point here and mention the Democratic Republic of Congo. If Earth had a treasure chest, it'd be buried in the DRC. Gold, diamonds, cobalt, literally the real-life Minecraft seed. And yet somehow the people are not the best financially, while the land is stupidly rich. They have every resource you could want. I could go there. Some theorists even said that their land was the former Garden of Eden. Okay, that was totally made up. The Democratic Republic of Congo gets its first point. Check out this video to see me create the most powerful country in human history. Go on, check it out.